Okay, for a start, you can write down your homework. The quiz assignments up to Friday. I put up 2 assignments, plus just like last week, there's one on the factual fluency practice. So it's like a few minutes and then it's like a speed drill. So this one's mainly about conversions again, because I think really that's something we need to practice and have firm confidence in. Please take out your handbook and write down your homework now. Right. Okay, so this was the assignments for today. Now, we'll be looking at a bit of 48 to 50. In case we couldn't complete the questions in class, we'll do it as homework. So, but not to worry if you feel too stressed about the workbook questions. Okay, it's about trying it. It's not about I must get it right. So do not worry too much. Okay, but the key one, some of us have already completed the SLS, so that's like not considered a homework for you. Now I want to use this opportunity to go back to this part here that I've put that everyone can remind ourselves really the importance about helping yourself to be really being able to achieve your goals and becoming better at what you do and gaining confidence. Really, I want to say our soccer boys were very successful last week, and that when they managed to win the other school, they were smiling a lot, feeling confident of themselves, and I'm also very proud of them. And also, it was very heartening for me that when I see them at moments when they lose, they are also not put down by it. But when you don't do well, it is normal to feel dejected and discouraged sometimes. But really, if you could focus on encouraging yourself to always give your best effort, coming to class being prepared, putting certain thoughts that may distract you aside first, respecting yourself and others, focusing your energy on trying to solve problems, build your relationships with your friends, then nothing will stand in the way of reaching your abilities. So far you have already experienced many lessons. So usually it goes like that. Either the brain gym or the assignment check will happen. Today we started with the assignment check. Then every lesson there's something that we are going to pick up about. So yes, from Monday it was about revising conversion of units, and then yesterday it was about introducing step rate, which the video is already on YouTube, so you can go back and check. Then there's an activity. Sometimes it's on the workbook, sometimes it's on the computer, and then it's homework. So if you're not aware of how lesson is like for maths, this is how it's been going. A reminder to our friends, most of us are full. Today, just a few don't have your textbook. So these are the things that we should have. I thought it's timely for us to have a reminder. It's a midterm. A reminder to have our calculator. Very soon we'll be using our maths tools for the next upcoming 2 chapters. After rate, we have percentage. After percentage, we're doing average. And then we're doing angles and triangles. Okay, so the test to answer Ansel's question yesterday, I think it's also helpful to remind everyone the upcoming tests include ratio, decimals, and rate. Okay, so most of us felt confident about ratio previously, right? So we should try to score in that. We should do your revision for that. Okay, then this one here. I want to share this with you and I have to ask you which step are you on. It's a bit small because I wanted everybody to be on Zoom so they can see this on your individual device. Which step are you on? From sitting right at the bottom of the steps and then moving up to step by step. So I chose this particularly today because we are talking about step rate today. How we take steps to move up to achieving your goals. No matter what step you are on now, I hope that at the end of this year, you are 1 or 2 steps higher where you are now. Okay, so quick revision on rate. Rate compares 2 different quantities that have 2 different unit of measurements. We have been using proportion. The proportion is what we talked about in similar in ratio, and that's why I've been emphasizing on you how you present your answers. So far we have done find rate. Haven't got to the word lengthy word problems part. The total amount part comes with the ideas about step rate today. So the new vocabulary we had yesterday was constant rate and step rate. And then the unit rate. Unit rate comes with the first thing we have learned for the chapter on rate per unit. So it's either per dollar or per square meter. So that was how we thought about unit rate. Okay, so let's take a quick look about it was last week's learning. So you look at this is essentially what I was trying to introduce to everyone yesterday. You look at this picture here, this is from the textbook. You can find it? This picture shows the graph here. You learn many graphs in science, I believe. The graph here shows the volume of water in a tank over time. Which one the page? Yep, okay, very good. So it's about a tap, filling up a tank. And as you can see, what does the graph show? What does the graph look like? It looks like is it a curve or is it a line? Is it a straight line going up or straight line going down? It's a straight line going up. And where is the starting point? The starting point is that 0 minutes and 0 liters of water, correct? So it starts at 0, 0. So as the time goes by, the amount of water in the tank increases steadily. Can you see that it's a straight line? So the straight line means that it's a constant rate. So at every 1 minute, the volume of water increases by the same amount. So let's say, for example, at the first minute, what's the volume? At the 1 minute, the volume is 8 liters. So you can think about it. At the second minute, sorry, it's almost the same. Can you find the one that is this one? 37 is the page 37. Let me check. Oh, this one, page 37. Can see? So you can see that from here, let me share the PowerPoint one. Okay, can see? So on this screen here, you can see that at the 1 minute here, the volume is 8 liter. So at the second minute, what is the volume? 16. So if you're talking about the rate, right, you'll be looking at the change. So what is the volume per minute? 8. That's right. So you realize that 16 divided by 2 is also 8. So at the third minute, it will be 24. So you realize that is these points on the line increases by the same amount. So the difference is 8. Difference is 8. 8 liter, 8 liter. For every minute is 8 liter. For every minute is 8 liter. So that's what a constant rate will give you. Now, if you look at a different scenario, okay? So just now we talked about it. You observe that the line is a straight line, and then the two quantities increases constantly. Oh, then yesterday we talked about the new learning called step rate. So the parking is one example. Here's another example. Anybody hear of ERP before? ERP. So if your parents drive or ride, they may run into this. You look at the right, this ERP system. It charges the car or vehicle as it passes through a certain timing. Okay, what does it look like? Let me show you this next slide. Make sure that I'm sharing the correct slide. Okay. Right? Okay. So you can see over here that if you take a closer look, here shows if a vehicle was to drive along AYE after Jurong Town Hall Road, like this one here, at 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. is $1. This is in June. So the vehicle pass the gantry, there's a gantry, like a parking gantry. At between 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., it will charge $1. And then when it's 9:30 to 10 o'clock, it will charge. You will not charge any amount. Then you see the other roads and the other gantry. And what do you think at 7:30 to 8:30 there's charges, especially? Yes, that's right. And then you see the other one, 5:30 to 6, 7 to 7:30, 7:30 to 8. So yes, our friends rightly guessed is because of the start of the day going to work and the end of the day coming back from work. So these are the times where a lot of vehicle will go past the traffic. So where there's a lot of vehicle going past, then they will charge. So the charges are different at different timings. Throughout the day, there are less vehicles, so no need to charge. Okay, so that shows you the reason for one of the reasons for having a different rate at different time. So this was the other example that we went through yesterday. In your textbook, you found it already, right? This one? The postage rate, we talked about this yesterday. Yes? So what do you think the graph will look like? If just now the volume of water is a straight line going upwards. What do you think this one will look like, the graph? Uh, what would the shape of the graph look like? Like zigzag? It won't be a straight line. What other possibilities? Okay, then you're getting that right. It's like a zigzag. So if I chart the graph like this is like a bar chart, okay? From 0 to 100 grams. So yesterday we said cut there off. So for any meal, here this is the important word. Any meal, anything that is between 0 to 100 is 60 cents. Okay? Then any meal that is more than 100 to 250 is 90 cents. And then any meal from 250 to 500 grams is $1.50. So yes, Sasha rightly pointed out it's like a zigzag. It won't be a straight line because it doesn't increase uniformly. Okay? Now, so a rate that changes by regular step is what we call step rate. For example, storage fee, the longer you keep the items, you charge more. It reflects the true economic value of things. Yesterday we discussed and we saw some other examples. Here's more examples. It can be quite confusing sometimes. This is easy buy shopping fee. You can see that it changes according to time. And yesterday we talked about the other examples. Then we'll skip that. And this was the example that we used in the textbook yesterday. So let's try was to move on to other questions for step rate. Before that, let's warm up with the review one brain gym. So you'll see, let me close this. Okay, we'll start with that. 2 minutes for a certain question. Let me see where is it. Here, page 97. Let me go for my timer. Pause it for a while. Okay, we need to work on question 1. Ready? you are done before that 2 minutes, you are going to the time to get everything out. Stop the sheet. So the next thing you do is get accuracy. So you check your work and see how long you spend each technique. Only question one, okay? Okay, time's up. Everybody okay? Anybody struggling with the time limit? Okay, okay, let's check now. Okay. Yes? Okay, everything right, Everything right. We all surprised? Everything right? One second, 2 cents, okay. Can Okay, now put this aside. First person from each row, please collect the worksheet back. We're only doing one question only. Okay. All right, now let's move on to the next task. Okay. Done? Okay, I'm going to move on the next task quickly and make sure we have time for the booklet later. No, only review one. Thank you. Okay, wait down. Later on. We'll make sure we have enough time for the booklet activity. Okay, all right, so we are at the bicycle question right now, bicycle rental rate. Some of us went back and tried this out in page 48. Is that okay? Now, we're going to try that question. Yesterday I did a vertical timeline. Today I'm going to work with a horizontal timeline. So we're talking about the rental rates for bicycles. And then here's the part that says for the first hour and then for every additional half an hour. Okay, there isn't this line about part thereof, which I wanted to talk about later on. Maybe I can talk about it here. Can we take a brief look at question 47 again before we move on to the bicycle question? Because I have a question to ask. Yeah, page 47. Can we take a look at page 47, yesterday's question? Yesterday's question about the parking charges of Mr. Muhammad parking his car from 8 to 11:30 a.m. Because yesterday we talked about part thereof, but this question is very friendly. In this question on page 47, it didn't really utilize the part about part thereof. But I think we need to be more familiar, so I'm going to ask two questions here. Are you looking at this question? So I'm going to ask Firas over there. So this question says Mr. Muhammad parked his car from 8 to 11:30. Yesterday, we found out the answer that he needs to pay $6.50. Now, this question is very friendly. It didn't need us to think about part thereof. So I'm going to ask you now so that you can consider it. So, Firas, if you park your car, let's say you park your car at this car park now, also start at 8 o'clock, but you left the car park at 8:45 a.m. How much do you need to pay? Like, give me some time, give me some time. Look at this again. We are talking about page 47, the same question from yesterday. All right. We have already solved it. The answer was $6.50 for Mr. Muhammad. But I'm saying that we didn't need to use the idea of part thereof, because this question is quite friendly. But it can be in the exam. So I'm going to ask Firas now. Let's say Firas, everybody can think about it too. Firas parked his car in this same car park, but he parked from 8 o'clock, not to 11:30. He parked from 8 to 8:45. How much does he need to pay? Firas. Adrian, are you listening to the question? How much does Firas need to pay? Darren, Janesha? Sorry? $1.50. Firas, do you understand why it's $1.50? So we're talking about if situations. This is important because it may come up. So we are talking about, we already solved this question, but we are talking about the case of if, let's say Firas parked from 8 a.m. to 8:45. A different question. How much does he need to pay? So he parked for 45 minutes. So Janesha and Jared say he needs to pay $1.50. Why? Yes, Zoya. Because 45 minutes is part of the first hour. That's correct. Firas, do you understand? Okay, let's try a different situation. Now we go with this Firas, huh? Okay, now we go with Hongwei. Hongwei, let's say you are like Mr. Muhammad, but you took a bit longer than Mr. Muhammad. Mr. Muhammad parked from 8 to 11:30, right? Let's say Hongwei, instead of 8 to 11:30, he parked 8 to 11:45. Mr. Muhammad pays $6.50. How much does Hongwei need to pay? Mr. Muhammad paid $6.50 for parking between 8 to 11:30. Hongwei is going to park 8 to 11:45. How much does he need to pay? Sorry? Only 50 cents? Mr. Muhammad pays $6.50. You park longer than him, you know. $7? $7.50? $7. Okay, so right now we saw up to 8 to 11:30 is very clear already, is $6.50. From 11:30 to 11:45, how long was that? 15 minutes. These 15 minutes that Hongwei park extra, more than Mr. Muhammad, 15 minutes more. Look at the question. Some of our friends says park 50 cents more. Is that true? No. Look at this question. Here says part thereof as well. So 15 minutes is also part of half an hour. Here says every additional half an hour or part thereof. So Hongwei's 15 minutes is considered part of half an hour. So how much more he needs to pay? $1. So he needs to pay total how much? $7.50. Can you understand that? Okay, that's very important. It's not 50 cents more, Hongwei. Why? Because of this term part thereof. As long as part of it. Okay? Now, that's an if situation. Like I said, in this question is quite friendly. It falls nicely at the whole hour or the whole half an hour. But you must be prepared to answer questions that is just part thereof. Is that clear? Okay, now we move on to the bicycle question. So we are going to, like I said, we're going to try out the horizontal timeline, starting with start time, end time, starting with 2:30 p.m. ending with 5 o'clock. The first hour to 3:30 p.m. and then from 3:30 every half an hour. 3:30 to 4, 4 to 4:30, 4:30 to 5. Okay, this one draw a bit too long already. So 1 hour followed by every half an hour. So I can see that the first hour, $2. So this is the $2 portion. Then every half an hour, 90 cents. So here's half an hour, half an hour, half an hour. This one easy, difficult? I think quite easy still. Can manage? So I can see there's 1 unit of $2 and then plus 3 units of $0.90. Okay, the rest can solve already, right? So 1 unit of $2 and 3 units of 90 cents. Okay, move on to the next question, okay? So we have up to page 50 for this question. Okay. We'll do one more, then we spend the rest of the time on the booklet, okay? All right, so this is the question on this one, and we'll move on to the next one here on the postage. Okay, so here you need to spend some time to understand how this postage works. Just now you saw me using a graph. So now we see the question here says different masses in a certain town, the postage rate for delivering masses. So there are 2 quantities here. The first quantity is grams. The second quantity is postage charge. So here shows you a parcel that is this and then 2 parcels of this to three different addresses. So it's not sent together, it's 3 different addresses. How much you have to pay in all. Now first let me make sense of the table here. Okay, I'm going to draw a line as well. Okay, you can choose it to do it vertically or horizontally. I'll do a horizontal one for a start. Okay, so I'm starting with 0 grams because it's the stack rate. So 0 gram to 50 grams. Anything that's 0 gram to 50 grams, it will cost 80 cents. Okay? Anything that's between 0 grams to 80 grams is 80. Then from 50 grams, okay, maybe 51 grams, 50 grams will be 80 cents still, right? But 50 gram point 1, then sorry, you in the next mark already. Okay? Yes, but thankfully this question doesn't have the decimal. That will really cause your mind to curl up and cringe if we ask you this kind of question. Okay, then 50 grams to 100 grams. This will be $1.50. Yeah, sure. Then up to 200 grams. So between 100, anything that's between 100 to 200 is this one. So it says step up. So this is $2.50. So as long as you fall in between the range, so this is the range. Remember I mentioned this when we talked about Akhilesh bubble tea. Remember? He thought the bubble tea was $1, remember? Yeah, it's a range. So this set rate, you gotta think about it as a range. Okay, so you go to a shop that's between $1 to $10 doesn't mean you will spend $1. You can spend anything that's between $1 to $10. So in this case, these lines help you to see what's the range for the rates. So here, I'm going to draw my parcels here. My first parcel is 130 grams. Where is 130? Between 100 and 200. So somewhere around here. So this is my first parcel. This is 130 grams. Okay, then you have another two parcels that's 80 grams. Where is it? Between 50 to 100. So somewhere here? Somewhere here? Then for these, there are two parcels, two different parcels. I'm drawing the parcel like a house because it's going to be delivered to this place. Three different addresses. So three different parcels, three different house address. Can you see? Can you see, yeah? So can you tell how much you need to pay already? Can, right? So this one is $1.50, this one is $1.50, this one is $2.50. How much have to pay? Oh, is it okay? Can you do the last step yourself? So I just add $1.50 plus $1.50 plus $2.50. So I draw a line like this, like a number line, to see the range and where it will fall. So you'll notice that 80 grams and 130 grams fall into the range. Is 130 is above 100 grams. So you need to step up to the next rate. Then 80 grams is above 50 grams. So you need to step up to the next rate. So that's what it means. Okay, so you can solve this, right? Okay, if you're done, you keep this as homework. You take out your computer, we're doing booklet now. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, hold on. Let me get the code out. But we're going to change a different game format. Yeah, we're not going to play the code one for a change. That means, okay. Okay, give me a moment. Wait, give me a moment, ？Okay, ready? Okay, let me choose. Okay. Yeah. Wait. 9884637. Okay, I'm gonna click start so that we have enough time to play. Okay, I'm gonna click start, okay, to make sure you have enough time to play. You can log in as long as you take your time to log in, okay? 4 more people. I start first, huh? Good. Ah, is it? So later, so we need to talk about how we play next time, Okay, let's start it. Oh, heck, it's not a very good idea. But one thing I want us to work towards is getting a higher percentage. Is that okay? Let's go now for our marathon lesson. Can you take note of your own scores? What was your score? Yeah? Okay? Tomorrow we'll work on increasing our score, okay?